Hey, hey, what's up, world? It's me, your girl, Angela. Welcome to the BTrue2U Talk Show. We are here. It's been a minute, but we was able to get in. Go ahead and do what? Like, share, and comment. Make sure you like, share, and comment. Invite some people. I'm going to go ahead and do that. I'm going to invite some people to join in. We're going to do a recap of March and tell you about all the good things that we got going on. So go ahead, remember to invite your friends, invite your sisters, your brothers, and come on and join this talk with me tonight. And guys, it's always something. And, I wasn't really going to come on tonight, but I feel like the Holy Ghost wanted me to stay true to what he called me to. And sometimes we question whether or not God really called us to something because we're thinking, well, is it really making a difference? And anybody really hearing me? Do anybody want to hear what I'm saying? But I say all that to say that we are going to continue to move forward and do what God had called us to do. Amen. Amen. Now, hey G, I know you was going to be here. Do me a favor, go ahead and invite some friends. I apologize for us being late, but we're here. So with that being said, welcome to the Beat to the Talk Show. I'm your girl Angela, and I'm coming to you live on YouTube as well as Facebook. So as you guys go ahead and like, share, and comment, we have some little announcements we want to make, and then again, just share where we're headed in life as we're marching forward and springing forward. Should I say springing forward in April and doing what God has called us to do? So thank you again for being here. Thank you for joining in. Thank you for sharing. Thank you for liking. Thank you for commenting. I'm gonna need you to do the show with me tonight because today it's just you and I. But nevertheless, April and May, I have some great guests lined up for you, lined up to come and share. That's going to impartate in us, and just give us an impartation, whether in you know uh, giving to us and share with us. And so thank you for joining. Thank you, G, for inviting your friends. Thank you for inviting your wife. Thank you for sharing, coming along, Apostle Clyde. Thank you for sharing. Today it's just me, Angela, and I'm doing a recap of March and telling you guys what God has called us to and where we're going from here. We're going to march in April. Now, today it's just myself. But next month, I have guests lined up for every Monday as well as May. God has been good. The people has been saying yes. And we're constantly going to be trying to bring you guests that can make a difference, that can show you that if God did it for them, they can do it for you as well. We want to celebrate life, celebrate your life. With that being said, celebrating. I had a baby shower for my new granddaughter that would be born sometime in May. It was great. Family came. Why am I telling you that? It is so important to make time to celebrate your family members, celebrate life, celebrate any opportunity you get. Why? Because there is so much bad news and bad things going on, and we're so busy with the cares of the world that we don't get a chance to really enjoy life. And so take that opportunity, enjoy life when you can. Welcome, Patricia. Welcome, Whitney. And again, we're excited, you guys. Now, I want you guys to remember this. This is the last Monday we will be coming live on Facebook. That's right. This is the last Monday we will be live on Facebook. For now on, yeah. For now on, we will be live on YouTube, but we will share the link to Facebook so you can join. If you have not subscribed to us, please do so. Please do so. Please do so. Please do so. Also, we have guests that's going to make a difference. We have Von Renee from, I think she's from Memphis. We have, I could be wrong, but she's a powerful woman that she's going to come forth. We have June McCall, who was a powerful woman who talks about marriage, talk about being whole, talk about not settling in your relationship, talking about how you can be a minister, a wife, and a mother and still do those things that God has called you to. We have Lakeel Jones that's coming. We have Jabril Thompson that's coming. You name it. We have lined up with some great guests that's going to be able to share and elaborate on those things that God has called them to and how they can help you. Now that we got that out of the way, I just want to chit chat, right? I want to chit chat about how catch up on how's life treating you? Are you okay? We're having those hard moments, right? We're having those hard times. But I believe we can do hard times easy because we do them with God. I believe because we have God on our side, everything will work together for our good. Welcome, Tanya. Thank you for joining. And so here's the thing. Although we're at the third month of 2023, God told us in 2023, January 1st, to do it different, do life different. And I know you probably think, what do you mean by doing things different? We have to get up, we have to go to work, we have to go to church, we have to take care of our children, we have to be our wife and mothers and be husbands. We have to those daily routines that no matter what, we cannot change. We have to do that. And so when we say do it different, we're talking do it different the way you process things, do it different the way you see things, do it different as far as the way you're thinking. And so when we think about things, somehow, some reason, most of us, not of all of us, because some of us already got it together. Some of y'all got it together. Some of y'all don't need help. But most of us, some of us need help. Some of us still struggle with not allowing negativity to take over us, not allowing negativity to be the first thing that come to our mind about a situation or a circumstance, right? When you want to try something different, when you know you need to make a change, we usually think negative about that situation. Negative, like, what if it don't work? What if it's not for me? What if I make a mistake? What if? But the what if is always on the negative spectrum, right? We never think positive. What if this to be the best decision I made? What if this really works out for me? What if this changed my life forever for the better? What if I make $1 million? What if I blow up? What if God orchestrate this and show me favor? What if I can change a life in this change? What if? Let's think positive, and that's how God say do it different. Do it different as far as the way we talk. Do it different the way we see a situation. Not always thinking that everything is not going to work out for our good. And in that, when we started doing things different, God had told me in the beginning of the year. Matter of fact, I know He told me in January that relationships was changing. And so we have to be able to embrace the difference in our relationship, whether it be a friendship, whether it be strictly platonic, whether it be a romantic relationship. God has did some shifting in relationship. And believe me, sometimes the shifting does not feel good, but no, if you're God's child and his life, your life is in his hand, that change is for the better. That change is for the better. And so let's talk about myself, for example. I like to tell my business, okay? I talk about me. I don't try to talk about anybody else. I don't try to ruin anybody's reputation. I just believe in, if you're going to use somebody as an example, use yourself. That way, no one be offended. No one would say you was talking about them, but you're able to use yourself. Hey, Brittany, use yourself. I want to talk about Brittany too. Brittany, I'm gonna come back to that, use yourself for example. Brittany is my niece, and she did the treats for the baby shower. And when I tell you, she blew me away. I had to hold back tears. You like, really, Angela? You about to cry? Yes, because I see such awesomeness in my niece. Maybe because she was born on my birthday. She was born June 8th. I was born June 8th. She my birthday gift. So nevertheless, I see greatness in her. And she's so creative, right? And so I asked her to create the treats for me, and I gave her an example of what I wanted to see, and she blew it out of the box, you guys. They looked it so professional. That's the word. They looked it. That they looked it. They looked so professional that I was just in awe. And so she's also going to cater my next event, which is, oh, I was going to tell you about that. let me slow down. June 10th. That's right, June 10th. We're having a Go Again conference. Now, usually before I moved from Georgia, before I moved to Georgia, I would celebrate you guys, the people that's in my life, the ones that matter, those that was valuable. I would celebrate, I would use my birthday to celebrate you. And so my birthday is June 8th, but June 10th, I'm going to do a big retreat, a big conference that's called Go Again. And Go Again, listen, we got Cynthia Robinson, we got Janelle Brown, we got Apostle Sheila O'Brien, we got Pastor Mary Lewis, we have myself. And we're going to talk about how you can shift and make a difference and let not age be a factor in you not moving forward. Don't let your age stop you from making a change. Don't let your age make you think you're too old to make a shift. And so we're gonna do that. BB, we love those treats. BB and her sweet treats. Yeah, BB and her sweet treats, they love them. So anyway, sometimes I was going to talk to you about my friend girl Janelle, and I was going to talk to you about how life changed relationships, how things shift. Sometimes God, nothing's wrong with the person, nothing is wrong with that friend, nothing's wrong with that person that you relied on. But sometimes because of where God want you to go, because of that area that He wants to be strengthened or torn down, He will place you in another atmosphere, right? He will place you with someone who's have the ability to bring out or help you realize what God has placed in you in another level. And so I have this friend girl named Janelle Brown. You guys, I talk about her all the time. I had her on the show numerous of time. I think we're like 10 years different. But with that being said, make sure you have a friend that's 10 years younger than you, 10 years older than you in your age. You need those people in your life to show you where you've gone from, where you at, and where you're going. So 10 years younger, your age, and 10 years older. We all need a friend in those categories to teach keep us fresh. Okay. I just thought I'd throw that in there just for, for sake. And so I was talking about how God is shifting you, right? God would shift you, God would change your relationship, God would bring different people in your life. And you're thinking, okay, what was wrong with the people that I had in my life? But sometime if you're not moving forward, sometime if everything you're doing or not doing is not where God has called you to, when you're seeking Him, He will shift the atmosphere. He will bring the right people in line with you so you can move to your greater. And so when He do that, you have to be mindful of God shift. You have to be mindful that He's doing it for a reason. And so don't be afraid of change. Don't be afraid of a shift. Don't be afraid of those things that we're experiencing that the enemy want us to think that it's not for our good. The enemy want us to think that we're just not okay. And with that being said, sometimes we're not okay. And it's okay to not be okay. It's okay that you're having a struggle. It's okay that you're going through some things, but it's not okay to stay there. It is not okay to suffer in silence. It is not okay to allow the enemy to isolate you and that his voice is stronger than the voice of God or the word of God. And so this is why God strategically placed people in our life to help us elevate, to help us to move forward, to help us see the purpose in our life. And so I'm also grateful for God bringing Janelle in my life. You guys know that I've had a best friend forever, and she's going to be my best friend forever. But even with that, sometimes we are afraid to allow someone else to come in because we're thinking that we're going to betray someone or it's going to cause confliction or confusion. But when you know that God has called something for such a time, you got to embrace those things. And so at this time, God has used Janelle to help me breathe life back into those things that consist of faith. Sometimes we don't understand that even though we serving God, even though we're living for God daily, we still have lost faith. We're still not really put any weight to our faith, should I say. I don't want you to say you lost faith in God, but we stop asking God for things. We stop believing God for things. We just allow things to happen. And so when you see someone walk in such faith, oh my God, it calls you to want to walk more in faith. It calls you to be zealous. You heard me. Zealous, not jealous. It calls you to want to rise. It calls you to want to stand up. It calls you to want to do better. And so that's what Janelle do to me. And I'm not ashamed to tell that she does that for me. And then I have another friend girl, and I will call her friend, and her name is Patricia. I call her Trisha. I don't call her Patricia. I'll call her Trisha. When I was in Atlanta, there was absolutely nothing that her and I would not talk about. There was absolutely nothing that we had to be shamed to talk about. We never had to color something or leave out something or make something sound better than what it was. We was able to be our authentic self. And when I came here for the first time in 8 years, if not longer, we had not a falling out, but we had a little misunderstanding. And here's why am I telling you that? Sometimes if you're not careful, you allow a misunderstanding, a misconception of something to ruin a relationship that you know was truly ordained by God. And so, if you're not mature enough, you will miss these relationship God is placing in your life. Why am I talking to you about this? Because 2019 kind of caused us to be isolated. 2019, 2021 got us in a place where we was lonely, got us in a place where we felt like we couldn't touch, we couldn't hold, we couldn't, you know, um, just communicate with one another. And so in that, we got to the point where I feel that we stopped valuing relationship. Yeah, we stop valuing relationship. And when I say that, I'm not talking about a romantic relationship, because we all know you'll give your legs, your arms, and your neck for a relationship, although you're being beaten or mistreated or cheated on. But you'll fight for those relationships, but you don't fight for your relationship with your sister. You don't fight with the relationship with someone that you have no sexual activities with. And so those are the things that God has been revealing to me, that my relationships has purpose. The people that's in my life are there for a purpose. And what we need to understand is that what God has called you and I to, we cannot do it alone. We understand that when Jesus sent out the disciples, he sent them out two by two. But this world we live in today makes us think we don't need anybody. This world we're living in today makes us think that we did it on our own. This world that we live in now, we're so easily to dismiss someone. And I'm not telling you that you shouldn't dismiss everybody. I'm not telling you that you should replace everybody. What I am telling you to do to reevaluate those people that you have in your life, those people that God is using to sharpen you. Iron sharpen iron. We don't like people that call us to the carpet. We don't like people that holds us accountable. And I'm not talking about someone who throws shade or underline digs. I'm not talking about that. By all means, get those people out of your life. I'm quick to remove you. I see you body scamming me, and if I see like you're trying to throw an underline dig, I'm gonna remove you, because I'm one of those people that I believe that whatever you say, you mean it. You got these people that say mean things and say, "Oh, I was just joking." No, if you said it, you meant it. Because if you would have never thought it, you would have never said it. You just use it in a joking manner to try to ease over what you're saying. So, value your friendship, value those people that's in your life, and know that God is doing something great. And in that, don't don't be so busy with what's going on in the world that you miss what God is calling you to and for. What we don't understand is that we was born for a purpose. We was not born just to have a job. We was not born just to have children. We was not born just to make love to our husband and wife. We was born for a purpose. And so often we miss why people come in our life. We think some people come in our life just by chance, but we understand that God does nothing by mistake, and every meeting is a divine appointment. But we never ask God, God, why did you allow me to meet her? Why did you allow me to meet him? What is the purpose of our connection? And so in April, as I spring forward, I'm evaluating everyone that come across me. And I want to know, what's the purpose? Why did you allow him or her to come in my life? Why did you allow me to come in her or his life? We're in each other's lives for a reason. But the sad thing is that we're so on this fast pace that we miss it. And when we miss it, it prolongs where God has called us to. Not only does it prolong us, it prolongs those people that God has placed around us, or has cultivated or kept for you and I to water, for you and I to feed. And until we get ourselves together, there's a lot of people waiting on us so they can get themselves together. I know I ain't all that, and you ain't all that. But I do know that God has ordained a certain amount of people, or certain people, that He's going to use my life to change, my life to break change, my life to make a difference, my life to inspire, my life to encourage. And likewise, He's going to do the same for you. But He can't allow us to come into those others' lives and feed them poison. He can't allow us to be a part of their life and bleed over them because we're not healthy, we're not whole, that we're wounded, we're full of unforgiveness, we're full of regrets. And so he's doing a shifting to place the right people in our lives, as well as the right man and woman of God to break down the word to us, that we can reach our greater. And as we reach our greater, we'll be able to go out and do what God has called us to do for others. And so just know that your life is not a mistake. And so I'm trying to be strategic about who I bring on the show. Now, I didn't have a guest today, and I was just not going to come on the show because I want the show to make a difference. And if it's not making a difference, what is the purpose? I mean, if I just wanted to talk on camera, I could continue to do reels, or just go live and cut the food. But I want this show to be a place where you feel comfortable as far as sharing your story, or even receiving a story from here. I want the show to be a place where you would find information, but in that you will also find help. You'll find a place of truth. You'll find a place where you can gain strength. You'll find a place that you know that you're not alone. And so, as God shift me with relationships, He's shifting me on the platform as well. And so, when I first started at BTrue2U, it was about just come on and chit chat. But as He moved me into ministry, as He moved me to be the mouthpiece, He moved me to be the example that I want to see. I want to see women and men of God that get along and not secretly compete against one another, that's not secretly wishing you ill will. I want to see where we show nothing but compassion for one another. I want to see where we bring the true word of God, and not come on here to preach your sermon, because we go to church for sermon. We do. We go on YouTube live for sermon. We go to those places where we get your revelation. But my thing is, how many lives are really being changed with the sermons? How many lives are being shifted? How many people are coming over to the kingdom? And one thing that I have realized is that we don't win souls by preaching to them. We win souls by allowing them to see how we live our life. We win soul not by witnessing with the word. We win souls by witnessing the way we live our lives. And so when you're living for God, when you're living wholeheartedly for Him, you're not so easily accepted. You're not so easily let in. The doors are not swung over so wide, because what I found to be a issue, my issue, and I'm just what I see is that church has become political, and in that it's become the end thing. As far as I believe, it's a form of godliness and denying the power of. It looked like God, it sounds like God, but it don't smell like God. And why do you say that? You say because when we worship Him in truth and spirit, it's like a sweet aroma to His nostril. But one thing you can never do, you can never fool God. And we think that because we sprinkle a little "I love the Lord" on everything we do, that it's okay. We think because we say hallelujah, it's okay with everything we wear and everywhere we go. And so I like to witness with my life. And people like to say, Angela, why do you share so much on Facebook? Why do you share your life story on Facebook? The best way for you to see the God in me is for you to see me every day. I don't want you to just see me when I'm preaching in the pulpit. I don't want you to just see me when I do an inspirational word. I want you to see that I am who I am 24/7. I am a woman that loves the Lord. I'm a woman that in the midst of loving the Lord, I need to be encouraged. I want you to know that serving God does not mean you have to pretend to be perfect. Serving the Lord does not mean you're not going to make a mistake. But serving the Lord is saying that I'm trying every day to live more like Jesus. Serving the Lord is like saying I try to love the neighbor as I love myself. Serving the Lord is knowing to do unto other as you will have them do unto you. Serving the Lord, well, people don't talk about this anymore because it's not important anymore. Serving the Lord is trying oh so hard daily to walk in the 9 fruits of the Spirit. We don't want to be meek, because meek is considered to be weak, but meekness is the fruit of the Spirit. We don't want long suffering because we want it like a microwave, but we don't understand that long suffering is strengthening our muscles. And the words say, those that endure to the end shall win. We don't want long suffering. We don't want to endure. We don't want to walk in peace when the words say the peace that surpasses all understanding. And if we keep our mind on Christ, He will keep us in perfect peace. We don't want to walk in peace, because in peace it says we have to show ourselves friendly. We don't want to be gentle, walk in gentleness, because we want our emotion to rile up and allow anger or hostility to be a part of us. Well, we don't understand that if you walk in the fruit of the Spirit, love the neighbor as you love yourself, do unto others as you will have them do unto you. Love Christ first. Love him first. This thing called Christian, this thing called saved, this thing called following Jesus would be oh so easy. It would be oh so easy. And so I want us to truly be the example that we want to see. Woody, if you can, excuse me, you guys, if you can text Ken the link so he can drop in to this show, I greatly appreciate it. My son Kenneth was supposed to be on the show with me today, but I didn't know where God wanted to go with this, where God wanted to, um, what he wanted to use this show for. But in that, what I see in the world, and I said this on one of my rear or my live, or I did a video where we pretend to be something and someone that we're not because we want to be accepted. I said that if you're not riding around in a Rolls Royce, a Mercedes Benz, a Jaguar, if you're not wearing red bottoms, Louis Vuitton, Gucci shoes, you don't talk about you going on this elaborate trip and this elaborate trip, that you're considered to not uh, be worthy to be a part of a group. You're not considered to have any form of wisdom or knowledge. And if you don't have all these material things, absolutely no way God will give you a word for me. We don't look at the God in people anymore to know whether or not God is using them, God has given them a word. We don't want to hear anything for anyone who's not shining. We don't want to hear anything for anyone who don't look like they got the bag. We don't care about your inner anymore. All we see is your outer. And I want you to realize you're going to miss it. You're going to miss it if you don't listen to those that don't walk in red bottoms. You're going to miss it if you don't listen to those who don't drive a Mercedes Benz. Listen, if God can use a donkey, he can use you and me. You're going to miss it if you're holding someone down to the fire of their past because of you knowing them when they was back in the days and not trying to see the God in them today. You're going to miss it. And so this is to just tell us, don't pretend to be something that you're not. It's because as long as you're pretending to be something with me and I'm pretending to be something with you, we'll never have an authentic relationship. We'll never be able to walk into that truth that God wants us to walk in. And we'll never be able to change lives because we're so busy pretending. And I want you to I don't know, think about where is that pretending getting you? We like to say fake it till you make it. But I say faith it till you make it. And as I think about that, excuse me, I'm sorry, I belch. As I think about that, we have taught each other to lie. We have taught each other to pretend. Christians are the best at pretending. Christians are the best at being fake because we're supposed to have faith. And we think in the midst of having faith is not being able to say what we're really going through. When you say how you're doing, you want to say, "Oh girl, I'm good. I'm blessed and highly favored." And you know you're about to be homeless. You know that your husband is beating on you. You know that You don't have a pot to piss in, a window to throw the piss out in, and nothing for the piss to land on. But we want to paint this picture that everything is well because we think that's what faith is. We think me telling you that I'm going through is not having faith. We think me telling you that I'm having a struggle in an area is not having faith. But me pretending that those things are not going on is not having faith either. It's causing us to stay bound. It's causing us to stay locked up. It's causing the devil to make the devil think that he has a hold on us because it says that we supposed to bear the infirmity of the weak. But how can I bear it if you don't tell me, if you don't share? And so we got each other around here saying that everything is good when it's not. And then again, I understand that because we gospel a lot. We gossip a lot on the prayer line. We say that we're praying for you, but in the midst of you telling all of my business. So I get that you don't want to share it because you don't want to be preyed on. But we have to find a place that we can come and feel safe. That it could be okay to say, I'm having a hard day today, but I trust God to make a way. You got to find someone that you can go to and say, stand with me that I don't get evicted, that God make a way. That's what faith is. In spite of me not having the money, I know God is going to make a way. In spite of my body wrecked with pain, I know God will heal me in the name of Jesus. In spite of my husband beating me upside the head, I'm either going to leave him or God is going to change him. Stand with me that the will of the Lord has been done. That's how you witness. That's how you walk in faith. That's how you make a difference. Not pretending to be something and someone that you're not. That's right, Pastor Mary. We're tearing down one another and not building each other up. The stronghold is people when it should be God. God is our strength. God is our keeper. I don't want to say stronghold, but I hold on to him strong. And that's because God is a God that doesn't force anything on us. The enemy, when he has a stronghold, it should be most likely it's a stronghold that's something that we don't want. It won't let us go. And so just be mindful of what we put forth every day. Stop pretending. Stop judging with our eyes. And do like the words say, try the spirit by the spirit. And so I'm gonna go ahead and see if I can get my son in. That's all I wanted to tell y'all. It was kind of heavy today, but nevertheless, I want to join in with my son Kenneth and talk about the goodness of Jesus in his life. And hey Ken, you there? He coming, y'all. I want to tell you guys thank you for liking, thank you for sharing. Thank you for the comments. BTrue2U talk show can be absolutely nothing if you don't chime in. It'll just be me talking to the mic with my husband. And so this is my oldest son, Kenneth. He was on last Monday with my son, Eric. But I want my son, Kenneth, to come in and talk about, you know, me in a sense, me as a mother, me as a no one who didn't get it right. I didn't. But in those times when you're raising a child, sometimes the enemy might try to make you feel like, oh my God, I am the worst parent ever. And so you wonder, did you ruin your child? Did you look at him? He's so handsome. My baby is so handsome. He's so handsome. Hey, Bernard. I mean, hey, Ken.
How we doing?
You're so handsome, son.
Thank you, thank you.
And so, Kenneth, thank you for being a part of the BTrue2U Talk Show.
No pressure.
Sorry, sorry, I didn't get you on earlier, but I didn't know where God wanted to take the show. But anyway, Kenneth, I was telling a story, and I don't want to say story because it's not a lie. I was giving a testimony that when you was in your age of 16, that God told me that He was going to give you back to me. And when He said He was going to give you back to me, it was saying He was going to take you out of that world that you was living in, take you off the streets, and bring you into a place of safety. And so I don't know how to share this, but remember, one day I came to you and I was like, "Tell me how you want me to bury you. If you want to live this gangster life, tell me what you want to be buried in." You remember me telling you that?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And so you having a mother, and not perfect. Have I been a mother that tried to guide you with Christ?
Correct. Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. So tell them how you felt about growing up in a house with a mother that was shananan all the time.
It was eye opening. It made me responsible for, what I'm saying, my footprint as well as to the lifestyle I live. Being that they say, once you know or once you're knowledgeable of something, you're held accountable. And I couldn't walk around, you know, acting as I was ignorant to certain things. So it made me cognizant. It made me think about, doing things before I did them. So as a kid, I always understood, so deep within the principalities of things. So like when I would get in trouble, I would always say, the devil made me trying to play like it wasn't me. We battled between, flesh and blood, and then it got the best of me type thing. So it made me go through life a little bit different.
What happened? You went out?
No, I'm still here.
Okay. Okay, so kid, I used to believe that for a little bit, but you started saying that all the time. The devil made me do it. The devil made me do it.
Correct. That was my little finesse tool to try to get the get off me.
Mary said, "Hey nephew."
Hey, that's sugar.
And Morgan said, "I woke y'all up bright and early every morning."
Yeah, we was heavy in the church, or was to like trying to get a little slumber, and it's like, oh, she up, she praying, she on the prayer line. Let me go ahead and start my day, get up for school or whatever. So even like to the point like when we were younger, like when school first started, or just when things would start going on, like you would anoint our head with oil when we go to school, and the kids be like, "Boy, what it is on your forehead?" I'm like, oh, it's a little blessing oil, a little pray over me.
And also, Ken, so when we talked about you living in the streets, I don't know, I don't want to bring things out because I know God is God and I'm thanking Him for being God. But whether the neighborhood, the gang, or whatever, I know that you have been through some things that you could not be here today. How do you feel about that? What do you think about that? What are some of the reasons why you feel like you're still here?
Um, Again, it's that spiritual upbringing that always made me cognizant of the end goal, as well as to being aware of what I was doing that could change the trajectory of my life. So I never got into gangs because I understood you know someone could kill you over just wearing a color. So I hung around people who were in gangs. My best friends, all of my close friends were in gangs. It just wasn't logical for me to join it. I understand by affiliation, um, it was subject to a certain outcome, but I didn't want to fully go into it because I always understood that's not where I see my life going. And I would always think of the end goal, and I don't want to spend my life in prison, as well as to I don't want to die to nonsense. So at a point in time, it was like a thrill, being around certain things because again, I live, you know, most of the time we live in like Jacaranda, Sawgrass, Lauderdale, and I would leave where I live and go hang with my friends like closer to 31st and 19th Street. So again, that understanding of the end goal of life as well as to my own salvation, of how I want to be entered into the gates of heaven and things of that nature. It made me cognizant of the life that I live here on this earth. And unfortunately, a few close calls or incidents that occurred where people were either shot next to me or I left and somebody died, it made me somewhat start to think that it could be around the corner for me. So I need to, slow my life down to take me away from, possibly that day being closer.
How important do you feel like the prayers of your mother, of your loved ones, making a difference in your life?
It makes a significant difference because I'm a big believer in words of affirmation as well as to prayer. I have a clothing line that's it's called Prayed Up because I believe those prayers and the energy that around my household kept things away from me.
And so you now live in Atlanta. Do you feel like I believe God allowed everything to happen for a reason. And so you had been what, 28, never ever been in trouble,
Correct.
never been arrested. You even in that lifestyle, God preserved you. He kept you. He hid you. And then I moved away. And as soon as I move away, you find yourself in a little trouble, right? In
Mhm.
the midst of that little trouble, y'all, he didn't kill nobody. He robbed nobody. I'll let him tell you what had happened. But in the midst of that, it caused you to relocate back under the covering of your mother. Tell the people what had happened.
Uh, Unfortunately, I had purchased a firearm. I want to say like a year and a half prior to the incident, and just I'm a Virgo, so or me myself, I don't do things until it aligns perfectly with the way I planned it out in my head. And I was being very procrastinating in my state of getting a concealed firearm permit. I knew all the laws and the ways to correctly carry it. But due to the circumstances in the area I was around, I had it on my persons, and someone I was with, they had an outstanding warrant, and they came for that person. I was in the vehicle with them, and it just so happens my gun was on me. Now, crazy enough, as I'm sitting in the car, I don't know if we're departing or not. So in my head, I just keep hearing, what to do with the weapon. Put it in the house. And as soon as I told myself to take the bullet out of the head because you know, carrying a firearm, you don't have time to rack a chamber into the slide. So it was already one in there. So as I took it out and I put the clip back into the firearm and put it back on my persons, as soon as I did that, uh, police officers pulled up and pulled us out the car, and I was arrested for carrying that firearm. But luckily, it wasn't loaded at the time.
Good. And see, God was forewarning you.
Correct.
And see, you heard the voice of God.
Correct.
And you know the voice of God.
Correct.
Because you say you usually talk yourself through it and you saw it, right?
Correct.
And so even in that, that was the grace of God because at that time they wanted to try to give people 20 years or 10 years to life for a gun. Now, although it was your gun, it was you owned it, you had the right to it. It's just the idea that you had it on you.
On my
But
person, ignorant
right.
subjection to the law. So I was looking at 5 years.
Okay. But God, how many years did you do?
I didn't know the years. I did like a day, and then I was on probation for a year.
Yeah. Was you really on probation for a year?
Yes, I actually had my probation switched to Atlanta. I was probably in Florida on probation for maybe like 3.5 months. I moved to Georgia, and then being how everything was going, I didn't have to check in as much being that I was, always had my urine clean and I was staying out of trouble. I moved here, got a job, and then I got off probation.
And you have been able to provide for yourself. I am so proud of you, and I think I really wanted you to be on tonight, for I can voice openly how proud I am to call you my son. You are my firstborn, and God has always told me that you was a blessed seed. God had told me that He was going to give you back to me, and when I tell you that I'm super proud of you, I'm proud of your cleaning up. I'm proud of your hard working. Even proud of the things that you've earned and your savings. I'm proud of all that. Now, although I think somewhere down the line, you've gotten maybe like addicted to shopping. You might need to go to counseling for shopaholic. But other than that, I
It's
think
called
you what?
it's called retail therapy.
Yeah, go. Yeah, that's what you do in retail therapy.
Smell.
Oh well, I don't know where you got that from, but Wood over here talking about he do. Anyway, don't point fingers. Anyway, Ken, I wanted to tell you that I'm proud of you. I'm proud of all of you guys, but I really wanted to tell you that I believe the enemy thought that he was going to ruin you. I believe that God allowed, there's many reasons that I moved to Georgia. You were one. I believe God allowed me to move to Georgia so you can relocate, because I believe if you didn't get from this environment, the enemy was going to try to destroy you. So I'm grateful, although you're away from me, I'm grateful that you are doing better and where you're doing it good at. And I want you to continue to be blessed. I want you to continue to allow God to be mighty in your life. I want you to continue to reach your goal and reach your purpose, and know that you deserve all of the finer things in life as well as love. And I can't wait for you to find the love of your life and birth me with. I'll let you have three. No more than three grandbabies. That's enough. You give me three, Morgan give me three, Eric give me three, and we're good to go. Because everybody should have as many as me. I
Like
feel like y'all need to experience what y'all put me through. So I'm gonna need y'all to have three.
I'll try on one. I don't know about three.
Yeah, I want y'all. Don't be everybody here talking about his mama, definitely his mama. Nevertheless, nevertheless. I'm better now. I'm better with the shopping. Kenneth, do you want to leave the people with anything as far as about how awful or how wonderful of a mother that I was, or even as far as growing up in the household with Christian parents, a bonus father, whatever you want to share about life in your life that will make a difference with somebody else's life, because we want to tell a story that will give somebody hope.
Um, it's gonna just have to be my whole family in general. Um, just coming up where I come from, as well as the environment of the village of the people around me, gave me a type of love that I never really had to seek outside acceptance. It just was certain circumstances that made me want to be a part of the in crowd. But luckily, the family that I was raised in, I always could come and be around my cousins. Like if I was away from my brother and sister, my cousins are actually like my brothers and sisters. And the thing one of my aunts told her daughter one time, and she was like, "Don't let the world take your innocence or try to take your innocence." And we as parents, I'm not a parent, but the parents in my village, aunts, uncles, things of that nature, have always instilled strong work ethics as well as to spirituality into us. So that would be the most important thing. Don't let the world raise your kid, being that someone to get their ear and they will be more susceptible to that person's outlook on something versus you coming to them and telling them prior to those people influencing them. So one thing about you, when I was younger, you would always talk to us about sex, friends, and things of that nature. So no outside people could, plant a certain seed because it was already embedded in my head. So I learned to use the gift of discernment to understand what is true. And that's my purpose in life, is to discover truth for myself, as well as to take charge of my own salvation. Being that our parents can't, lead us on to glory, they can only, try to instill certain things into us. Um, So that'd be the thing I would say, to stay prayed up, stay diligent, and work on yourself. Um, you can only get from people what you give yourself. So love yourself, love others, as well as to be empathetic to what other people go through. Don't try to shun people for what they're going through, and just be there. If someone letting you know or calling your phone, you may be their only outlet, to feel love or feel that they have a place in this world. So that's all I would say.
Well, thank you, son. You have made a difference, and I'm glad that you know you have to work out your own salvation. I can lead you. I can't lead you. I can introduce you to God, but only the rest up to you and Him. And so I'm so glad. And again, I'm super proud of you. Continue to listen to the voice that's in you. That you're following the right road. That you're making a difference. That you're making your footprints matters from the time that you are moving forward, and that not only that you're here to be the example of what you want in your life. And I love that you understand you get what you are, not what you want, and then in the midst of that you're becoming what you want. And so bless you, I love you, and you can come on the show anytime. Now if you want to talk about vegan or whatever, just holler at me. We'll share you the link, and you can have you can have your own show all by yourself. Okay,
Yes, ma'am.
I got you, and I love you.
I love you too.
All right, you guys. Morgan says she's not going to have 3 kids because that's an uneven number. So she's probably going to have 2 or 4, maybe 6. We don't know. But I'm not going to speak to 6 because she probably go cuckoo for Cocoa Puff. And so we'll give her 2 because she definitely can't do 1. Yes, Mom, you missed it, but you can always go back and watch the replay. Thank you, Patricia, Mary, Gina, Sheila, Morgan, Brittany. Thank you, Latanya. Thank you all for watching. Clive, Apostle Clive, thank you. Whitney, thank you all for watching. Continue to like, share, and comment. Remember, starting April, we will no longer be live on YouTube, Facebook. We will be live only on Be True to You Talk Show. Um, what you call it? YouTube. YouTube. We will be only live on YouTube, but we will share the link. So make sure you head over to YouTube and subscribe to Be True to You Talk Show so you don't miss any episode. Because, like I said, we have some great. Oh, and hit the notification. Subscribe and hit the notification. We have some great guests that's coming. Also, June 10th, we're gonna have another conference coming up called what is it called? Go Again. Go Again. And so the conference is June 10th. It's going to be from 11 to 3. Go Again. We're going to have food. We're going to have entertainment. We're going to have, giveaways. But not on that, we're going to have some people that's willing to share their vulnerability and be authentic to let you know if God did it for them, He can do it for you. And so tickets will be on sale soon, and we're going to give you more details. So stay tuned. Make sure you carve out June 10th from 11 to 3. You don't want to miss it. You don't want to miss it. If you thought catch a second win was something, wait until God do this thing, because I know God is doing it. Because when He started talking to me in the shower, oh, I know He is ready to do some things. And so get excited, be prepared, get your tickets as soon as the information go up. You do not want to miss it. My niece Brittany Price is going to be the caterer. She don't know that yet because I did text her, but she didn't respond. But nevertheless, she is going to be the caterer, and you do not want to miss it. Uh, and with that being said, y'all, I love y'all. Make sure you subscribe when you get off Facebook. Head on over to YouTube, subscribe, and like. Now, if you don't, and turn on your notification. Now, if you're a little under the age of 60 and 50 and don't know how to subscribe, have your cousin, your niece, your nephew, your daughter, somebody to make a YouTube channel for you, and make sure you subscribe to Be True to You Talk Show. That's all I got to say. I'm glad I came on. I wasn't going to come on, but I'm glad I came on. You understand where I'm coming from. You understand that I believe in Jesus Christ. He is my Lord and Savior. I believe that He is the truth, the way, the only way. I believe that He died on the cross for you and I. I believe that healing is our portion. I believe that He want us to be the head and not the tail. I don't believe that We're all gonna be wealthy, but I don't believe he called us to be poor either. I believe the wealth and the wicked is laid up. The wealth of the wicked is laid up for the just. I believe money answer all things, but I do not want to sell my soul for the money. This is your girl Angela, the B2U Talk Show. Everything you do, always be true to you. I love you and I mean it. Bye.